I'm Taz Kaliska. I was born in a trapper's cabin that my dad built in the wilderness of Ontario. We later turned it into a hunting and fishing lodge, and that's where I was raised. I've spent most of my life as a hunting and fishing guide. That's what I do. I hunt and I fish. Now I'm packing up my gear and traveling across Ontario in search of real outdoor destinations. So sit back, put your feet up, put down the remote, put on your favorite fishing hat, and come on along. This is Real Outdoor Destinations, Ontario.
I gotta get away at the sunrise, early morning. Can you hear the distant calling? Ooh, I gotta get away.
It's no secret Ontario's Sunset Country offers a wealth of adventure. Typically, you just need to determine what type of adventure you're looking for. A 45-minute float plane trip from Vermilion Bay will bring you to Anishinaabe Lodge, the only lodge on Anishinaabe Lake. 9,000 acres of pristine water broken into numerous bays featuring weed beds, rock reefs, and islands. A true fisherman's paradise. Anishinaabe is one of those unique places that has it all. In the course of this trip, we trolled for trout, jigged for trout, casted for pike, and took a trip through the Canadian wilderness by ATV to a portage lake full of walleyes. Then we topped it all off with a few days of bear hunting. Add in a fish fry, smoked trout, a log cabin overlooking the deep, crystal clear waters of Anishinaabe Lake, and some of the most beautiful scenery you'll find anywhere. Not to mention a couple of the nicest lodge owners you'll ever want to meet. And you've got a trip that will dish out all of the adventure that you could possibly imagine.
And how deep?
How deep was it set last time?
75.
That's fine.
Yours just did something there.
This is a pretty nice one.
Do you want me to get a nut?
We'll see what happens here when it comes up.
Okay. Do you get a lot of, do the trout come up to the top a lot?
Early in the year they're on top, and then about the end of this month they'll start coming back up to get into the spawning beds. The season closes end of September.
Okay.
They spawn in the fall. There's a little guy. Feisty little sucker. You guys interested in having some smoked lake trout?
Look at the belly on them. Need some pliers.
Yeah, do you have some?
Yeah.
There's one. Pressure's on, you're next. Got about 20 minutes before the sun hits them trees over there.
like an opportunity to vacation at some of the amazing destinations seen on our show, visit realoutdoors.com and sign up for your chance to win. Entering is free and easy. Win free products, gear, discounted trips, and more. Visit realoutdoors.com to find out how. You deserve a great vacation. Let Real Outdoors help you get there.
You said there's just trout and northerns in here?
Yes,
And big northerns?
over 40 inches, a lot of them. Probably right up your alley.
That's what I like, big northerns. Do you average pretty good sized trout in here?
I average about 8 pounds. Seen them all the way up to 30.
Wow, that's what I want. How deep did you say the lake is?
300 feet.
That's crazy. It's a lot of water.
Lots of water.
How big is the lake size-wise?
It's approximately from camp up to the north arm up there is 7 miles by 5 miles wide.
Okay.
It's 9,000 acres.
So now, because it's on an island, I mean, the road doesn't come all the way in, so then obviously you would boat
Right.
the rest of the way, and
You can't drive right to the lake either. You can drive within a mile of the lake and then take a four-wheeler in.
okay.
And you'll experience that at some point too. When
We
you
just get to experience it all this week.
Yeah, there you go. Today. See, there's
Now
always
there's-
a chance.
Now there's something on there.
You might even get smoked fish tomorrow after all.
This could take a while.
Like it might have some shoulders on it. Maybe. Got it?
Well, we didn't have much time, but we accomplished what we set out to do. We promised Duncan back at the lodge that we'd bring him in a couple of trout for the smoker. As the sun set on what turned out to be a beautiful day on Anishinaabe, and our first afternoon came to a close, I couldn't help but think of all that was yet to come. More fishing for trout, an ATV trip to a portage lake for walleye, a fish fry, and of course a little bit of bear hunting.
Well, that'll take about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours. I'll turn that down after.
Well, as promised, Duncan fired up the smoker and put in the trout. It's hard to beat fresh smoked trout, and I couldn't wait to taste them. But that wouldn't be till later. We still had a full day of adventure ahead of us. Last night we trolled for Lakers. Today we jig. The weather was exceptionally beautiful and the water was like glass. It may be one of the most relaxing mornings I've experienced in a long time. The trout didn't exactly cooperate, but I almost wonder if it wasn't better that way. Maybe not. Sometimes there's more to a great day than just catching fish. We met up with Jerry and David, a couple of guests from the lodge. They caught a couple of trout along with an eel.
An eel.
Yes, an eel. Enough of the relaxing. Now it's time to set up the tree stand and see if we can find a bear. It was our first day of bear hunting, so we headed for one of David's baits that had been hit fairly regularly. We boated across the lake, then hopped on the four-wheeler and headed for the bear stand. David had mentioned that there were some huge bears in the area, over 500 pounds. Needless to say, I was pumped. Our main goal was to get the stand in place and sit for a while just to see what would happen.
Further on up the road, someone gonna hurt you like you hurt me. the
A
road.
quick stop along the way to check the rifle, and then off to the bait.
Someone gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Yeah, out for the wild of the road. Baby, just you well see.
Anishinaabe does an excellent job catering to both the experienced and non-experienced hunters. They provide bait, freezer space, and help with the skinning if you need it. They keep their stands about 5 miles apart on an extremely large bear management area, giving ample room to each hunter. They can accommodate groups ranging from a couple of guys up to larger groups of 15 or so. All stands are accessible by boat and ATV. Color phase bears are common enough where each year a hunter either tags or at least spots a chocolate, cinnamon, or a blonde bear. As we found out, it sure makes for a well-rounded trip when you mix in some trout, walleye, and pike fishing along with your bear hunt. As we expected, we didn't have much luck after the commotion of setting up the stand, but we had plenty of time left to hunt. After all, this was only our first evening. Now it was time to head back to the ATV, then to the boat, then to the lodge for some of that trout that Duncan smoked.
Baby, just you well to see.
Well, with all the day held in store, it seemed like a week ago when Duncan fired up the smoker. Sitting around in the screen porch with David, Duncan, and a few of their guests is a perfect ending to an exciting day. Every angler dreams of the perfect fishing experience. Fortunately, there's still one place where those dreams are met and exceeded, and that place is Ontario. Ontario has more lakeside resorts than anywhere else in the world. Accommodations can run from remote fly-in wilderness fishing camps to luxurious shoreline resorts within easy driving distance. Either way, you'll discover peaceful surroundings, great fishing action, and maybe the adventure of a lifetime too. To plan your next Ontario vacation, please visit gofishinontario.com. Your stay at Anishinaabe doesn't limit you to one lake. There are a multitude of lakes surrounding Anishinaabe, all within a short portage either by ATV or by boat. These lakes provide excellent fishing for walleye, northerns, trout, and also smallmouth. Each has a cache of boats and motors ready to go. And if you are looking for even more adventure, you will also have access to daily flyouts to area lakes for great walleye and pike fishing. Anishinaabe Lodge is situated on an island. Something about it just feels so comfortable and relaxed. The large lawns, the pines, the view. The lodge features 3 lighthouse keeping cabins, nestled among tall pines overlooking beautiful Anishinaabe Lake. Each cabin features all the amenities for cooking. 6 comfortable bunks, and a screen porch where you can sit and relax at the end of the day. If the screen porch doesn't do it for you, you can always take a break in the sauna. The island is powered by a solar and windmill setup, so you won't hear the noise of a generator. In addition to the facilities on the island, Anishinaabe offers an outpost cabin, and what a cabin it is. David was in the process of finishing it up at the time of my visit. The day would end with bear hunting, but first we were off to one of Anishinaabe's portage lakes for a day of fast-action walleye fishing. After boating across the main lake, we hopped on the four-wheelers and headed for Burden Lake for walleye and northerns.
Does lake have a name?
Burden Lake.
What is it?
Burden?
Burden?
Yes.
Because it's a burden to get in here?
Yes, it is.
Fishy one.
Fishy one. Good job.
That's walleye. They're like really nibbling soft, so I don't know if you want to maybe just drift.
Maybe we'll try to back troll into the wind. Might help us
work.
out. We'll go back where he caught that one. There you go.
There's a northern.
One, 2, and 3 lake that I was talking to you about before, going up the river system.
Yeah.
Those lakes are smaller than this lake, and I've had some clients, I go in there, they'll go into these little lakes and catch 200, 250 walleyes in 4 or 5 hours.
What's the size variation on them?
Fish,
On the walleyes, yeah.
anywhere from like the one I just let go to I've seen them 30 inches. You're right, they're hitting light.
Yeah, they're really light. Woohoo!
There's a nice fish.
Duncan had a fish fry planned for later that evening, so our goal was to bring back a few walleyes.
That's a nice one.
Sure. That won't take long. Looks like it.
Another nice one. Whoa! He was right under the boat. Left now.
And once again,
He might be too big to eat.
yep, nice fish.
He's on there.
3, 6, 7.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Are you ready for a vacation? Fly or drive to Anishinaabe Lodge in the heart of Ontario's Sunset Country for unparalleled lake trout, trophy walleye, and northern pike fishing and extremely successful black bear hunting. Fish the cool, clear waters of Anishinaabe Lake or travel by ATV to one of Anishinaabe's multiple portage lakes. Located on a secluded island, Anishinaabe Lodge is the only lodge on the lake. Visit AnishinaabeLodge.com to find out everything you need to know to plan your vacation.
On the way back from Burden Lake, we finished off the day with an evening of bear hunting. It was a beautiful chocolate bear, around 300 pounds. As nice of a bear as it was a decision on whether or not to shoot. Knowing that there were some 500 and 600 pounders in the area made it a tough decision. Eventually, the bear made the decision for me, as he walked absolutely straight away from me and disappeared into the woods. Not taking the shot is much better than taking a bad one. It really didn't seem to matter that I didn't get a shot. It's pretty hard to spend some quiet time in a tree stand, enjoying the outdoors, watching a great-looking bear, and calling it a bad hunt. All that was left to do now is hop on the four-wheeler, head for the boat, and then back to the lodge for Duncan's fish fry.
Put those flies first on the top, get the grease out of them, and then we'll put them in.
As night rolled in and my trip came to a close, I laid in bed in the loft of my cabin, contemplating the events of the trip as I typically do, to the sound of the loons talking to each other across the lake, the faint sound of a waterfall in the background, the float plane ride, meeting David and Duncan, the crystal clear waters of Anishinaabe Lake. I think of all the great fishing that we did, fully aware of the fact that the fish are not what made the trip so special. I think of the peacefulness of sitting in a tree stand and the bear that I could have shot, knowing that it's not putting my tag on an animal that makes hunting so special. And how amazingly relaxing it is here, wondering why haven't I ever been here before, and what have I missed, and when can I come back? It's all the little things you don't typically think about when planning a trip. It's certainly the fishing and the hunting. It's also the people you meet and the friends you make. Duncan's fish fry and smoked trout. Just sitting around talking with the other guests and enjoying the scenery. It's these things that make a trip real, make it memorable. If I could give anybody one piece of advice, it would be to just do it. Get together with your family or your friends now and make a plan. Everybody plans on going someday. Make someday today.
Are you staying tomorrow? Okay. Okay. What should we plan for supper?